So from a really young age, it was very important to my family that I learn how to fight. Not physically, but the other kind. The kind of fighting style that my family was really adept at is the kind that you would most regularly employ across like the Passover table, utilized against other family members. Styles included like intense debate, emotional leverage, statistics, preferably made up entirely on the spot, out of whole cloth. And from a very young age, I became very adept at this. So much so that in college, my roommate sat me down one day and said, "Adam, I want to tell you why nobody likes you." Which was news to me. He said, every time somebody says anything at all, you just pick the opposite point and begin arguing with them. And I was like, I don't understand, you're just describing a conversation to me. And it's really a shame because I would have really benefited from learning how to physically defend myself. I'm a small man. I don't mean just physically, although, okay, we can be honest. Okay, that too. I mean, mentally. I'm a small man, which means I've repeatedly found myself in situations that someone who's smarter than me would have been able to avoid, at least by now, my God. What I'm trying to say is that I've been mugged a lot. I don't want to brag. I have been mugged more than anybody else I have ever met. Don't feel bad, because here's the thing, I'm really good at it. Everyone's good at something. My skill set, getting mugged, I'm in, I'm out, wallet, phone, right, not a scratch on me. Like, I'm the fucking Top Gun of getting mugged. But it has happened a lot, and it's a bit of a drag, because somebody smarter than me would have altered the behavior somewhat. But the fact of the matter is, I have never been hurt, so I've never altered my behavior in the slightest. I'm still out there, 2 a.m, getting drunk, hitting the cash machine in the worst neighborhood that I've ever seen, and then stumbling home down the side of the street where every single street lamp is knocked out, which is in fact what I was doing one of the last times I was accosted. I was just coming back from a really terrible date. So, I hit the cash machine, worst block in my neighborhood, was just lurching home when somebody came up behind me and put me in some kind of really cool kung fu grip that would have been great for me to have learned when I was younger. Slapped their hand over my mouth and whispered in my ear, "Don't move, motherfucker, give us the money." And this, I appreciate, a straightforward mugger. There's no fucking around. What's happening. In and out, easy peasy. Usually. Because this time, I don't know if it was it was my 12th time and I was like, this is it, we all got a prize, or if I just had all the liquor coursing through my veins, or the fact that I had just come from such a terrible date, but I decided it's not happening, this time I'm gonna fight. And as we had previously discussed, I don't know how to do that. So I'm like, this is it, it's go time. The guy has me clamped and his partner's hands are going through my pockets, getting my wallet and stuff. And I was like, what am I gonna do? I was like, well, I don't know how to do this use the hands and do a thing. I was like, you know what I do know how to do? Is bite a motherfucker. Yeah. Now, if nobody here has bitten an actual human being in a fight, let me tell you what you're missing. Here's the thing about biting someone is there's no takebacks. Biting someone is, if nothing else, it's a commitment. If you choose to bite another human being with your actual teeth, you are agreeing to take whatever comes next. That's it. Like, that is your decision. And I'm like, but that's where I was. So I was like, this is it. We're doing it. So I grabbed the guy's hand. It's like this giant meaty paw. Like, how can I chew on this? It's ridiculous. And I shove it in my mouth, and I couldn't go through with it. I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but I didn't want to back down because I was already halfway there with his hand in my mouth. So I decided to compromise, and I began just swallowing his arm whole like a snake. And at first, I think we were both kind of confused by the way the turn that the night had taken us. And he leaned over and just sort of said in my ear, he goes, "That's disgusting." I don't disagree. He said, "That's disgusting, stop it." But I didn't stop because I had already gotten his whole hand in. And I was starting to inch up towards his forearm. And there came a moment where I think we both thought that I was gonna pull it off. Like, I was gonna swallow this whole dude. Because he leaned in, and this time there was an edge of panic in his voice. He said, "Stop it, motherfucker." I said, "Stop it." But I didn't. I was moving up his forearm, although I have to admit at this point, it was becoming difficult. But then he said the magic words, "Bitch, I will stab you." All right, I'm out. I know when I'm outgunned. So I sort of disgorged his arm. And I heard him walking away with his friend. Walking, because if I wasn't right there, I probably wasn't really a threat. I got it. And he said, "Did you see that shit? This dude tried to swallow me." People are fucking crazy. And he's right. I felt crazy. I was the people. I was crazy. All right, that didn't go great that night, but I had made a choice. I have chosen violence. The only thing that, we had to figure out was my exact fighting style, because trying to swallow a dude whole, turns out that's not in my skill set. But I had made a choice, and I was committed to it. It was a few weeks later, during the day, when I was accosted on the street next, and some dude walked past me and turned around as I went past and said, "What the fuck did you just say about my mother?" Now, this is rare, and I really appreciate it. Someone who cares about their craft. He wasn't just coming at me for the money, he was gonna establish a narrative first. He wasn't just taking my money for no reason. I had wronged him. I had said something about his mother. I deserved to be punished, and that's why I had to give up my money. It was like an improv session, like, yes, and here's my wallet and phone. And I turned around, and there was something about what he had said about his mother that just something inside me clicked. And inside my chest, I felt these ancient wheels turning and these tumblers falling into position. And I turned around and I said, "Your mother?" I said, "She must be very disappointed in you." And he looked at me shocked, because guess what? He wasn't expecting this. But I was fully in there now. Where is she? Is she at home? She doesn't even know where you are. What would she think if she saw what you were doing now? It felt like my head was on fire. My eyes were like coals, like cold, disapproving, judgmental coals, but still, I felt the power of 1,000 years of endless, annoying Jewish debate and guilt flowing through my veins, and I felt like I was floating like a fucking X-Man above him. When I finally told him that he was killing his mother, he gave me the traditional Jewish sign of surrender, which is to throw up his arms and say, "Okay, I don't need this, whatever, just leave me alone." I don't know who taught it to him. But I walked away vindicated, secure in the knowledge that I would never be a victim again. Except 2 weeks later, I was accosted by a pack of 10, 12-year-old boys in Bed-Stuy at 2 in the morning who beat the shit out of me and took my wallet. Thank you.
Oh my God, Adam Selbst.